Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Funky Marketing Show. Toci, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, people. How are you today?
Let me put on my glasses so I can look smarter.
Intellect plus 10 points.
Yeah. Okay, so another Funky Marketing episode, another time for us to rant and talk about different things. I just wanted to clear something up. Like, this is called Funky Marketing Show because we don't have like a certain script or anything that we want to go into. We just come up with a topic and we start ranting about it.
100% natural.
Yeah. So this month, the topic that we're gonna talk or rant about it, or we might even have some guests. We'll see. Yeah, Aravind, thank you. I do look smarter.
True story.
Actually, I cannot see without them, but yeah. So my vision is even better. But we are going to talk this June about content strategy, and it's all related to the way we approach content marketing. So we are coming up with a huge ebook. Totsi, what is the name? What is the topic of the ebook?
Well, we will be focused on pillar pages and topic clusters and how to unlock your maximum growth potential. It's like working title, so we are still considering few different options, but it will be around creating pillar pages, topic clusters, and how to unlock maximum growth and revenue potential.
Yeah, alongside the ebook, we're launching 5 articles, all of them explaining different points related to the content strategy. And we are elaborating all those steps, all those things here on the Funky Marketing Show. So let's dive into it. My idea of the first topic is how do we decide, that about the content strategy. What should be the strategy, and what should the strategy be focused on. A lot of people like us, from marketers, a lot of marketeers, just put different tactics into a strategy, and they call it strategy. And that's okay, because we've been working in marketing for like 10 years. We know what are some things that's going to work, what are some things that aren't going to work. But let's go from the scratch and see what's happening when we start working with a company, for example, and we go step by step of how we can come up with the things that can give us insights to create the content strategy. So even before we are creating the strategy. So basically, the first thing is to know who we are, to know what the company is all about. Do we have a clear vision? Do we have a clear mission? So that is like the first step ever. And a lot of companies don't have that figured out, or they have something that they just wrote, when they started, which is not even true now. Or a lot of companies, have a vision that will go be outdated in a year. It's not, further in the future, and don't have the mission, which is actually, practical way to get to the vision. So those kind of things are the first step from which we are starting, and then we go further. Totsi, what do you think? What are some specific points that companies need to pay attention when they're creating the vision, the mission, those kind of things?
Actually, I'm very happy at this moment because you wanted to go even few steps back yet, because now we are demystifying like phase zero of creating content strategy. I was expected, hey, we will talk more around topic clusters, like concrete steps in creating pillar pages, stuff like that. And I'm really happy you decided to open the conversation like this, because there is no material on the internet or in some private discussion around this topic, because it's like really phase zero before you actually create strategy. And as you noticed, right, people are usually confusing and mixing things a little bit, because they will choose a few different short-term tactics and they will actually think it's a strategy. Because I have like many times people will consult me for my opinion about their strategy, and I will usually tell them, well, if you are doing just this, are you sure actually you have strategy in place? So probably the best starting point is try to be in shoes of your customers, try to be them at least for a second, try to consider their pain points, try to consider their intent, how we can actually approach them in further steps. I think it's like essential for creating further steps, and I don't know, other things, they should be included in the right strategy.
Yeah, I mean, having a vision and a mission, basically, it allows you to have like strategic narrative to what your company does, to what you are trying to do. Changing the old way, coming up with a new way. What is the old way? What is the new way? So when you break it down like this, you know exactly what you want to achieve. You know exactly where you want to lead your customers or your clients. Where do you want them to go? And when you have those things, then basically you have the KPIs. You have the KPIs that you want to achieve, and you make sure that you are doing them realistically. A lot of people go into smart SWOT analysis, all those things. I don't know. Some are against them, some are for them. But if you have never done any analysis, you should definitely do it. Some people don't do it because they are aware of where their gaps are, when their strengths are, where the opportunities lay down. So in that way, maybe you don't need to do it if you know those things. But then we are coming to the point where we need to define who we are as a company, or how are we different than the others. So we know the vision, we know the mission, we know the KPIs. So let's see, what are we offering that is different than the others? Who are our competitors, who we consider as competitors? Even that segment is a topic itself. But what's here important is to figure out, it's not only online or just offline. It's not only our industry. It's all different things. So it's important to have that figured out. Let's say we are a SaaS tool, then we are looking to work with the customers in finance industry. But actually, if they have enough vendors already, not only necessarily solving the problem that we are solving, they maybe don't have enough money to get another tool. As simple as that. So they are also your competitors. You need to figure out about those things, and there are many layers of it. But when you go and look at the things, you need to see how you differentiate yourselves from the others. I mean, we talked about creative way of differentiating last week on the previous episode. But when it comes to unique selling proposition, you need to see exactly what you are offering and how are you different than the others. I mean, just even if you have the lower pricing, that's the way to differentiate yourself. Maybe it's not the best way. Definitely,
Short
it's not the
term,
best way.
short term.
Yeah, but how are you different? So yeah, Tozi, anything related to that part? I know that you have a lot to say related to those kind of things.
Well, that's true, because I will I always love to start with deep understanding of your customers, actually, because if you are able to fully and deeply understand your customers, your target group, your potential decision makers, you will actually know how to help them. You will know how to serve things right. You will understand their point pains, and if you decided to play the long game, you will know how to present the right information and to the right people at the right time, because you will be focused to actually add some value. You will ungate your best content. You will just give, not you will not try to sell at first date. So I will always start with something like that in mind, and after that I will see what's going on further, and I will try to, I don't know, focus on few different target groups. I will do additional segmentation, for example. I will chase different seniority levels. So I will try to give more personal content for this type of people who can actually, I don't know, give good feedback, or they will actually make some business decision. I actually hope so.
So let's dive into then the next step. You started already talking about it. So the next step, when we have defined, who we are as a company, mission, vision, we have the KPIs, we know the USP. The next, we know the competitors, of course. The next step would be to go and talk with the customers. So that would be the next step. But uh, to get to them, we need to first find them and approach them, right? So that's always an interesting way to go and see how we can approach them, because a lot of companies don't know how to do that part. They don't know where to find those people, how to get them. I mean, my point of view is that you need to know what you're doing, from whom you are doing it, before you got to the point where you have the service or the product. So you need to figure out those things, then you do all those other things, and then you come up to the content. So you need to do that firstly. You need to know exactly who you are talking with, and with that I have sort of like a problem of what a lot of companies are doing when they coming up with with ICPs, with different kind of people. We're going to target CFOs in the company that raised, I don't know, like 200 millions ARR, let's say. But they just focus on business things, on problems related to the business that your product or service is solving. And that's looking at the person as it is a half of a person. That's how I see it. Because we all have different things that moves us, and business and work is just one of them, and we need to go to dig a bit deeper than that. So is this person somebody who likes nature? Do they play basketball like our friend Marty Sanchez? Do they, if it's a lady, do they like fashion? Do they play volleyball? All kind of different stuff can be involved over there. So do they like wine or do they like beer? Just
Or both.
or both. Just a simple thing. Do they have a family? it's are those people, like we have three ICPs, maybe we have something that's unique to all of them, that they're all singles, or they all have a family, or they all have a children. We when we come up with ICPs and we analyze them deep enough, we need to go that deep to kind of find out, um, what are some things that connects them outside of that they have a problem which we can solve. So go much deeper, and when you do that, we can find like two things that connects all of those people. So when we have those things, it gives us a little bit more freedom when we come up with creating the content, when we creating the strategy, when we create the storyline. Because it's not only business. We can go and talk with them about different things, and we can be creative outside of the business, because in tech, in finance, in compliance industry, you are just forbidden to talk about many things. It can be coming from the management. It can come that you cannot talk about what you do with the clients, or just finances. I mean, it's a sensitive thing in a lot of situations. So you need to come up with something that's outside of the business and come up with different topics that you can use, so you don't have like, but we are boring, we're not interesting. That's because of this. If we get to that situation when you are boring, when you are not interesting, because you are focusing only on business, you're not getting personal. So yeah, Toci, I know you have been researching a lot about personas, about those kind of things. So what are some things that you are seeing? I know that we are looking at a lot of brands that have invested deeply enough, like gaming industry is full of those kind of people. They're all like both B2B and B2C, but you can see it's also tech, but there's a human note to it, and they talk about different layers when they create content.
From my like personal research, I somehow saw like few interesting patterns, because most companies are somehow, when they're doing their research, to they want to create some buyer personas, they're still thinking inside of the box. They're still thinking through the funnel. So my advice is like, hey, try to think a little bit outside of the box. Try to think a little bit outside of the panel, because that's the place where miracles are happening. Because if you are focused only on buyer personas who will fit inside your panel, you will probably miss the opportunity to go wider, to go deeper, to create some new demand, to create new strategic narrative, to actually healthy polarize some people based around your industry. And you will actually just lock yourself up inside a boring, old-fashioned panel everybody in the industry is using. I mean, that's a yes, you can do business that way and you can even be successful, but you will not create something outstanding. You will not create new category. You will not launch something that will move the market in next 5, 10 years. So you will just do everyone is doing in your industry, and maybe you will be successful, maybe you won't, but you will not creating something new, something outstanding. And probably that is the essential point. Try to think outside of the funnel, try to think outside of the box, because you will stop creating new content and see content strategy just as a starting point, just as a top of the funnel range. So you will start preparing different content with different narratives in mind. You will go a little bit further, and by default you will start actually educating people, giving them additional value without anything in return. So people will recognize that. People will start seeing your company as a thought leaders, as a maybe new category creators. And when they have I don't know, they need usually 3 to 5 content pieces to actually start thinking about solving their problems, or start seeing a new opportunity to save time, to make more money. And usually when you're giving more than asking, they will recognize you when the time is come as a someone, and they will approach to you actually, and your sales team will say when they approach to you, these are the best leads.
Yeah, when they come to you inbound, already educated and ready to buy, you can just, if you are smart, you can come up with a bigger deal. So, yeah, but one thing I want to take a step back when we are talking about this, and you elaborated very well. We need to uh, to actually change things, and I think it's changing when we are talking about KPIs. So what's changing? What's changing is that uh, I don't think that marketing's job or the content's job should be just to create materials for sales so they can go and sell. You know, when we look at it like that, it's just coming up with the webinars. It's just getting leads basically. But the way I see it, when you give enough information, when you educate, when you create a brand, you will be recognized. And when your salespeople then go out and do the outreach, people will know from which company they are. They will sound seems familiar, and because of that, it will be much easier to get into the conversations. It will be much easier to go and do something that people actually want to do. They want to get into the conversation with a brand that they know. So that's the way I see it. It's not like marketing is here just to create the content for the sales, but marketing is here to create awareness, to educate, inform, and prepare audience and create the brand differentiated from all the others. So when sales do the outreach, do their job, it's much easier to get into the conversations, to close the deals, and to do anything. Basically, it's another way to help sales. Not through getting them contacts, which in most cases, if you go to the quantity, there's no quality. So you just, the old way. You have more salespeople, and that's how it goes. So yeah, it's an interesting perspective and interesting things that we are doing. And also one thing, Toci, I think you can lead the way with this. It is where our audience, our customers are spending time.
First, I really want to take one step back. Hey, people, when we are talking about leads, hey, let's define these leads, like, and be honest for once, because what you're considering as leads are just contact information. So try not to ask us for marketing to provide you more and more. And as Nemanja said, our job is to actually warm up things with future like prospects. We want to educate them, we want to prepare them, and when they come to you, it will be like completely different. These people will not be they will not feel bad about you when you actually contact them. They will be prepared, they will know everything they need to know about your brand. They will know everything about your services. They will be prepared, they will be warm. So try to incorporate these postulates in your future strategy. And I don't know, when we are talking about like logical next further steps, well, I mean, somehow try to go again to phase zero, and always keep in mind like clear mission goals, clear vision statements. And when you put like everything, like when you put like all pieces of puzzle together, actually you will know what to do next. It will be like completely natural, a little bit different process. You will have less leads. You will have like different activities from marketing department. You will have like different activities from in sales department. You will actually talk with guys from customer success, and all of you together will try to create some new revenue. You will actually talk with your real customers. You will understand their problems better. It will not be problem with attribution between your teams, because you will all share like attribution points, because some guy will came through blog articles, and I don't know, you will talk with them further. Sales guys will continue, and they will end up with customer success guys. You're all sharing the future success, and stop acting like, I don't know, three different departments. We are all in this together. And in my opinion, in since COVID starts, things are changing for good, and it will stay like that. We can expect future marketing, sales, customer success alignment across the all industries, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I think you went a little bit
Yeah,
into
yeah,
another topic, but I will go back and continue with actually coming up with a strategy. So, we need to see where our customers are spending time, and we will know that by talking with them. If we cannot talk with them, what we can do is we can listen to the podcast. Find the podcasts that are doing interviews with your customers and with your audience. um, you will see there's tons of podcasts, millions of them all around. You will find at least one when you will see what they are sharing, how they are sharing. There are actually now a lot of them where when people from tech industry, or I don't know, construction or something else, they are not talking about the industry at all. They are talking about their personal lives.
that's
So
true.
yeah, I think the good example is like Kyle Lacey. He has a great podcast when he's interviewing CMOs, and they are talking, about different things, about life, about the family, about a little bit about business, but mostly it's not about business. And it's great to see background of person, and who they are in real life, what they want to share, those kind of things. And when you talk with them or you listen to them, you will see where they are spending their time. If it's LinkedIn, and why it's LinkedIn. If it's Twitter, and why it's Twitter. Maybe it's Instagram. I don't know. There are all kind of different types inside the B2B industry. So there are Facebook groups. There's Reddit. There's Quora. There are all kind of different small communities. Like there's Revenue Genius, there's Revenue Collective. There are all kind of different smaller communities when people are actually spending their time because they're getting value out of it. And if you want to be where they are, like if you're going after engineers or gamers, Discord as well is a great place to find groups. So you need to think about where they are and when they are spending their time. When you know where they are, you will know in which way they want to be communicated. Because, like, if I'm on TikTok, that's how I want to be communicated. I don't want somebody going to the TikTok and talking about in a way that they talk on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I want them to be and to communicate with me in the same way that other people are communicating. I'm there on that platform because I like the way communication is being done. Also on LinkedIn, if I'm on LinkedIn, that's how I want to be approached. If I'm on Twitter, well, yeah, then it's a different thing. If I'm on Facebook, then it's again completely different thing. Looking at so many different people, some are using Facebook for family and friends, some are using groups, some are using it as another company page or personal brand. People are using platforms in a different way, and you need to find the way they're using, your customers are using the platforms. And when you find out that, when you find out those things, when you know what they do outside of the business, what are their interests, what do they love, when you compare those things, when you find similarities, basically you will already have an idea about the content. You will have the, you will know what you want to achieve with what you're doing. You will know how you are different. You will know who you are going after. You will know where they are, and you will know the way they want to be communicated.
That's like 100% true, and you just need to see where these people are like most active, because they're all busy people. They all need additional time for their families, for their personal activities, to purchase their own dreams. So if these people are spending some time and personal efforts on some platform, be sure they love the platform, and this is the place to approach them, especially if they are like higher in some company. They will really appreciate their time. So if I see CMO of some company, I want to do some business, spending time on Twitter tweeting things about personal life or some personal rants, hey, this guy is actually loving this, and I can expect similar guys spending his time on same platform doing some other similar things. Hey, I will modify a little bit my content strategy, and I will be sure these people are there, for example, on Twitter for a reason. So let's approach them a little bit different. I will modify my content and distribution strategy, and I will be ready to approach them, and I will not do just out of the blue. So I will try to prepare some interesting tweets to hang around communities they are already hanging around. So I will try to engage on their tweets. I will quote retweet something. I will put additional comments, giving additional value, asking some thought provoking questions. And only after that, I will approach. So I'm actually modifying my content strategy, personalizing a little bit, and I'm actually doing a great job. I'm there where my perfect audience is hanging around. Actually, simple as that.
Like, I want to say congratulations because you say you're doing a great job. So I can just say congratulations. I want to add something, because I got reminded because like I saw Mark from Metadata um, on a stream, and I want to say sometimes it's really hard to to find the right information about the customers. And in today's world, there are companies just like Metadata and some others that are providing those things. And sometimes you really need to go and use their services to kind of get the information, because that's why I think we are in the AI age when we can use technology in the right way. And it's not easy to find data and information about the customers if you cannot talk to them. It's a little bit hard. We said one thing is talking to them. If you can get to them, there is listening to the podcast and coming up with those things. The third one is making a cooperation with companies that are actually gathering the data and making sense out of it to help you you know direct you in the right direction, so give you the right insights, so all those things that we talked about, so you can just go and do different things. And if you hear the dog, it's Toci's dog. He might attack him any moment right now, so don't be scared if a big dog jumps into the
Oh, I'm expecting delivery. So and I'm expecting some huge ring light. So for the next episode, you will see me in much better light. So be prepared.
Yeah, what I wanted to say. So yeah, those are like kind of a few things that you can do to kind of get the information. And No, just think. I mean, I did. I took you back from the step one to the step to the last step that we talked about. There are actually other steps, but they are more technical. So these things are, where you're gathering information, and you start creating the strategy and the content when you have all the information, and when you feel like you know the customers, when you feel like you had a coffee with them, you have a beer with them, and you feel that you know what you can talk about. Like you can jump in and talk about NBA because it's the playoffs right now, or you can talk about fishing or some other things. But those are kind of the things that are important, and those are kind of the
The dog
things
is
that you can
here.
get. Yeah, of course. I told you he'll come.
Give me. I announce. So be prepared. Next time you will see me in way better light.
Yeah, we are improving. I mean, I also think maybe I can come up with a video of how I started creating videos in my room in my hometown.
That will be
Uh,
nice.
yeah, they're actually all on Funky Marketing Facebook page. If somebody wants to go to those videos and check them out, but you can see I just had a camera on my phone, which wasn't the best one, but I didn't care. I needed to produce content, and that's it. So yeah, yeah, dog is joining us. That's it. Okay, so Toci, what did we miss from this part related to the first steps in creating the content strategy?
Somehow I want to talk more about next steps. So, uh, and probably we will do in our next episode. So people be prepared. We will talk more about like concrete content strategies, topic clusters, how to create pillar pages, how to distribute it further. Why is all this like really really important? How to do proper keyword research, and what we missed. Well, I'm not sure.
I think we covered most of it.
Yeah,
There were no questions, so I guess we're good to go.
we're good to go. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, but we talked about these things a lot already on the podcast. If you
Yeah,
go to the Funky Marketing podcast or to the B2B Weekly podcast previous episodes, you will find a lot of talks about related to the content. But now we have you prepared the basics and everything, and the next time we'll go more in how you can create the written content, how you can come up with uh, different types of content, and how you can actually structure it. Because now we gather the information, we know the information, now we need to come up with a structure. And this thing we're gonna leave for the next time, and talk more about that. If we're lucky, we'll have an ebook ready until the next week. So also you will have a chance, to dive deeper into it, and see the not listen to it, but open it on your screen and go step by step into the content strategy, and set up everything for your company, or for your clients, all depending what you're doing. But yeah, I think we covered most of it, and I don't know if we have been fun enough, because it's Funky Marketing Show. We need a couple of rants for the end. I think this is what
dog
we
is
missed.
barking all the time, so I think it's funny.
Dog is ranting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
She
cover we
she,
covered that.
she has opinion about everything.
Yeah, but what I have to say, and this can be a little rant, and that is that most of the companies just inside the content strategy, they don't include the distribution, they just create
Yeah,
the
that's
content.
true. That's true.
and that's it. Not many companies have distribution figured out, and they need to come up with that part for it to be effective. Build it and they will come. Don't work. uh, it actually never worked. Maybe it worked in the early days of Google, if you are there, they are coming, or early days of any platform. But right now, that's not gonna work. The competition is extremely high. The demand for each service or the product is extremely high. And to be able to differentiate yourself and to be able to be there, you need to go halfway to the customers, not wait for them to come to you. And I don't see many B2B companies doing it. They're just lazy. They're just producing content, sharing even links, not even, writing posts on LinkedIn, coming up on Twitter, using different things. It's just being lazy. And, I don't consider it as the old way of doing it. I just consider it lazy. And I just think, a lot of them are stuck in some HubSpot playlist from 10 years ago, and still living in that age, still waiting for somebody to find them on Google, still waiting for, for things to happen by itself. And it's not happening. Those things are just not happening. And that's it.
You
It's not
said
it's not happening for you if you don't figure out the distribution. That's my ultimate message.
it's not the old way, it's the wrong way. Don't do that.
Yeah, the old way is the wrong way. That's it. And I think I said too many times that's it in this episode, which means that I'm thinking of so many different things. And it means that it's time for us to end the episode.
Good, good. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Toci, one question for the end. And it's
Good.
not the one that I'm asking you all the time. Now it's a little
Ah,
bit
it's a new
different.
question. I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew it.
now it's a new one, and it is: which song would you recommend to the people to listen to? One song, and that's it.
Robbie Williams, Phil. Just
I
like
just
that.
want to feel real love.
Without love,
Yeah,
everything is like just boring. So the love is
okay.
like essential thing to motivate all of us.
That's good. I can even go and check, and add the link and play a little bit feel, but I don't want to.
We
I
are we
think
are ready to dance.
let me add to that suggestion. Go ahead and find Robbie Williams singing "Feel" live on a stadium and audience singing with him. That's the right way to feel the feel.